TMM Series 1500 machine setup and operations. Site preparation and utilities. The bench used for the TMM 1500 must be solid, reasonably level, and not subject to rocking, movement, or excess vibration. Uncrating the Presetter. Move the skid containing the Presetter TMM 1500 into position near the bench. Remove the top of the crate. Remove the plywood divider. Remove the column support brackets. Remove all four sides of the crate. Pull the horizontal way covers back and remove the two red M8 shipping bolts that hold the presetter to the skid. Lift the unit using forks positioned under the base of the presetter. Make sure the forks are properly positioned and that the unit is stable on the forks. Position the presetter on the left side of the bench, leaving plenty of room on the right side for the control. Ensure that no part of the presetter extends beyond the bench. Removing the shipping bolts. Remove the remaining way covers that are attached with Velcro. Remove the top cover of the column by removing the thumb screw. Remove the red socket head cap screw or shipping bolt which secures the camera arm. Be sure to hold the camera arm while removing the shipping bolt so that the camera arm will not drop and damage the counterweight cable. Ensure the counterweight cable is positioned on the pulleys correctly. Improper alignment can damage the cable. Remove the red socket head cap screw or shipping bolt which secures the counterweight. Remove the red shipping bolt that secures the vertical column to the base. Save the shipping bolt for use during machine alignment. Install the column top cover and the thumb screw that secures it. Reattach the bellows, ensuring that they are centered over the machine ways. Leveling the presetter. Place a level on the top of the spindle and check for level in the left to right and front to back directions. Rotate the leveling nut on the four machine mounts to adjust as needed. Parlevision PSC Setup. Unpack the monitor and mount the base per the manufacturer's directions. Connect the keyboard cable to the keyboard port on the back of the presetter. Connect the mouse cable to the mouse port on the back of the presetter. Connect one end of the video cable to the port on the back of the monitor and the other end to the video out port on the presetter. Connect the optional touchscreen data cable from the back of the touch monitor to the touchscreen port on the back of the presetter. Connect the optional label printer to the printer port on the back of the presetter. Connect the presetter power cord to the main power in receptacle on the presetter. Connect the monitor power cord, presetter power cord, and optional printer power cord to a wall outlet or power strip. Parlevision PGC Setup. Assembling the monitor stand. Unpack the monitor. Remove the four Phillips head screws that secure the monitor stand base to the monitor. Remove the monitor stand base from the monitor. Mount the provided mounting plate to the back of the monitor with four M4 by 20 mm cap screws and 4 M4 washers. Mount the pedestal mount to the mounting plate with the 4 M4 by 12 mm cap screws. Mount the pedestal base to the monitor stand base plate with 4 M4 by 4 mm cap screw. Attach monitor to pedestal base, align, and securely tighten clamp. Locate the computer, monitors, keyboard, and mouse on the right side of the presetter. Connect the keyboard cable to the keyboard port on the back of the computer. Connect the mouse cable to the mouse port on the back of the computer. Connect the video cable of the computer monitor to the monitor port on the back of the computer. Connect the video cable of the camera monitor to the monitor port on the back of the presetter. Connect the RS-232 cable from the COM1 port of the computer to the PC communication port on the back of the presetter. Connect the presetter power cord to the main power in receptacle on the presetter. Connect the monitor power cord, presetter power cord, and optional printer power cord to a wall outlet or power strip. Air connections for vacuum clamping and fine adjustment options only. Install an air line with a 1/4 inch NPT standard male thread. Turn the air valve to the on position. Adjust the regulator so that the pressure gauge reads between 70 psi and 90 psi of air pressure. PSC Control Startup. Turn on the video monitor. Turn on the presetter. After powering the system up, the control should display the Parlec splash screen. Press any key on the control and the display will prompt you to reference the X-axis. Move the X-axis until the control prompt changes to reference the Z-axis. Move the Z-axis until the prompt disappears. The video screen should now display active numbers as the machine column changes position. Inspection light option. The inspection light control, located on the camera arm, turns on the inspect light and controls the light intensity to ensure the optimal picture quality. Fine adjustment brake option. The button located on the hand grip releases the brake and allows the axis to move freely. Turning the fine adjustment knobs will move the axis in very small increments. Spindle indexing and brake option. Activating 90-degree spindle indexing will lock the spindle in one of 4 positions. To release the 90-degree spindle indexing lock, pull the knob out and rotate 90 degrees. Activating the spindle brake lock stops the spindle from rotating. Vacuum clamping option. To clamp the tool using vacuum clamping, select the clamp position of the vacuum clamping switch. Turning the vacuum clamping switch to the blow position will send air through the spindle to break the taper free. The regulator controls the airflow needed to break the taper free or float the tool in the spindle. Machine alignments. Removing the vertical cover. Remove the 4-way covers that are attached with Velcro. Remove the top cover of the column by removing the thumb screw. Remove the 4 screws that secure the vertical column cover located in the vertical way cover tracks. Remove the vertical cover by lifting the cover up to clear the optional fine adjustment knobs. Spread the opening at the top of the cover just enough to slide the cover away from the column at the top. Spread the opening at the bottom of the column enough to slide the cover completely off the column. Adjusting machine tram. Mount the magnetic indicator base on the tramming block located on the projector arm and a second magnetic base on the counterweight. Wipe out the tool pot and clean the tramming bar with a soft, clean cloth. Place the tramming bar in the spindle, making sure it is properly seated. Place the indicator tip at the top of the tramming bar. Rotate the spindle to check spindle runout. Spindle runout should not exceed 3/10 at 12 inches. Rotate the spindle so the high point of the runout is facing the front of the presetter. This will eliminate the spindle runout factor. Loosen the lock bolt and back off the front right tramming screw so the column is sitting on 3 points. Place the indicator tip on the front of the tramming bar. Move the Z-axis up the tramming bar, noting the indicator movement. Total indicator movement should not exceed 8/10. Move the indicator to the bottom of the tramming bar. Move the horizontal axis to find the high point of the test bar. Set the indicator to 0 at the high point of the test bar. Move the indicator to the top of the test bar. Move the horizontal axis to find the high point of the test bar. Use the front left tramming screw to adjust the front to back tram. Slightly loosen the cap screws. Turn the leveling nuts located under the column base until the indicator reads 0. Tighten the cap screws after adjusting. Recheck front to back tram. Rotate the spindle so the center of the runout is facing the vertical column of the presetter. This eliminates the spindle runout factor. Place the indicator tip on the left side of the tramming bar. Move the Z-axis up the tramming bar, noting the indicator movement. Total indicator movement should not exceed 8/10. Move the indicator to the bottom of the test bar and set the indicator to 0. Move the indicator to the top of the test bar. Adjust the back right tram screw until the indicator reads 0. Tighten the cap screws after adjusting. Recheck left to right tram. Recheck the front to back tram. Place the presetter software in linear axis tracking mode. Move the camera to the top of the test bar and align the edge to zero out on the center axis indicator on the video screen. Zero out the X-axis readout on the video screen. Adjust the front right tramming nut down until it touches the linear bearing surface. Lightly tighten the front right tramming bolt. Note the center axis indicator on the video screen will move slightly. Adjust the right rear tramming bolt to bring the center axis indicator back to 0. Recheck left to right and front to back tram. Backlight alignment and shutter speed. To access presetter setup on a PSC control, click on the Parlec logo, then enter the password 0705. Set the camera in binary mode. Ensure that there is no image in the screen before you proceed. Lower the shutter speed until you can see the edges of the light beam. Loosen the 2 screws that hold the backlight to the camera arm. Move the backlight until the light beam is centered on the video screen. Tighten the screws to secure the backlight source. Setting shutter speed. Set the camera in binary mode. Ensure that there is no image in the screen before you proceed. Lower the shutter speed until you can start to see black in the corners of the camera screen. Raise the shutter speed until all the black is gone. Test the system for crosshair stability and accuracy. Adjust up or down in increments of 50 to 100 as needed. Adjusting camera focus. To remove the camera cover, remove the flathead screw located on the bottom of the camera cover. Then slide the cover off to expose the camera and lens. Wipe out the tool pot and clean the setting gauge. If necessary, use masking tape or putty to remove any dust from the tool surface. Place the setting gauge in the spindle. making sure it is properly seated. Move the machine so that the gauge optical sight is viewed in the measuring screen. Rotate the sight using the focus gauge. The gauge will tell you when the tool is at maximum diameter. From Presetter Setup, click the Focus Utility button. Loosen the 2 set screws that clamp the lens mount, and the 2 set screws that hold the ring light to the lens if you have the light ring option. Rotate the adjustment screw that will move the lens and camera in or out until the image is in sharp focus when the gauge optical sight is at maximum diameter as seen on the vision monitor. Tighten the 2 set screws that clamp the lens mount and the 2 set screws that hold the ring light to the lens. Camera alignment. From Presetter Setup, click the Alignment Utility button. The numbers represent the distance of the image to the crosshair of each hash mark. A perfectly aligned camera will have all the numbers match. Rotate the camera using the adjustment screws so that the image is parallel with the horizontal crosshair. To rotate the camera, loosen one adjustment screw and tighten the other. Turn the power off and replace the camera cover. Testing pixel calibration. Put the system in high point measurement mode. Move the gauge sight to the center of the screen, then zero out the X and Z axis. Place the X-axis in radius mode. Measure the gauge at the 4 corners of the measuring window. The measurements should not exceed 2/10. If the measurement exceeds 2/10, then run the pixel calibration procedure. Pixel calibration procedure. From Presetter Setup, push the pixel calibration button to start the process. Move the master gauge to the proper position on the vision screen. The proper position is to align the associated straight edge on the master gauge to the line on the vision screen. Once you have aligned the master gauge to the line displayed on the vision screen, press the OK key. Repeat this process through all the steps on the vision screen. After all the steps are completed, a pop-up on the control unit will ask the end user to verify the pixel calibration results. Press the OK button, then press the Save Pixel Calibration button. Presetter calibration with a master gauge. Wipe out the tool pot and clean the master gauge with a clean, soft cloth. Place the master gauge in the spindle, making sure it is properly seated. Position the presetter so that the sight of the master gauge is focused and in the measuring box. Select the Setting Gauge button. Select the Gauge List button. Select Master Gauge from the list and push the Edit button. Enter the X and Z values as seen on the master gauge in the correct fields. Push the Save button to accept the changes. Select Master Gauge from the list and push the Load Gauge button. Push the Calibrate button. Your Parlec presetter is now set up, calibrated, and ready for use. For any further assistance, call the Presetter Service Center at 1-800-727-6545 and a technician will be happy to assist you.